Zoning Commission for the City of Apache Junction. Today's date is January 23rd, 2024, and the time is 7 p.m. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Rudy, roll call, please.
Chairman Hanchey.
Here.
Commissioner Gage.
Here.
Commissioner Cantwell is excused this evening, Mr. Chairman. Commissioner Bigelow.
Here.
Commissioner Begeman.
Here.
Commissioner Barker.
Here.
Commissioner Callan.
Here.
So we have 6 present. We have a quorum, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Rudy. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda and minutes?
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Baker?
whoever she is
Barker?
down there.
Barker,
The one
yeah.
at the end. Yeah.
Robin.
I move that the Planning and Zoning Commission accept the agenda as presented and approve the minutes from June 27th, 2023's regular meeting.
Second. I have a second. Rudy, roll call.
Commissioner Callan.
Yes.
Chairman Hanchey.
Yes.
Commissioner Gage.
Yes.
Commissioner Bigelow.
Yes.
Commissioner Begeman.
Yes.
Commissioner Barker.
Yes.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
All right. There are no public hearings this evening. Next item under old business is presentation, discussion, and update for case P-23-14-AM, a proposed text amendment regarding zoning ordinance, Article 1-6, Supplemental Regulations, Section 1-6-3, fences and walls. Kelsey?
All right, good evening, Commission members. My name is Kelsey Shatnick. I am a planner on staff, and tonight I'm here to discuss the proposed text amendments to Zoning Ordinance Section 1-6-3, fences and walls. Just as a reminder, in December of 2022, the Commission gave direction to staff to research permitted fencing materials, and in February of 23, a brief update was provided to the Commission detailing the preliminary findings, and today we are here to review a draft of those proposed changes. So here's a general overview of all of the proposed changes. So there's been a reorganization of the chapter language. We've added language regarding general requirements and maintenance, prohibited fence materials in all zoning districts, expanding the permitted fencing materials in single-family residential zoning districts, language specific to rural properties, and then language clarifying requirements for non-residential, multifamily, and new single-family residential developments. But before I kind of get into the details of the changes, I wanted to provide a little insight into the intent behind these changes. So basically, staff is looking to do 3 things: provide better clarification of fence and wall requirements in all zoning districts, provide more flexibility within the allowed materials, and improve the safety and aesthetics of fences and walls moving forward. So first, we have the reorganization of the chapter language. So it's now organized into 5 sections. We have general requirements and maintenance in all zoning districts, prohibited fencing in all zoning districts, single-family residential zoning districts, non-residential, multifamily, and new single-family developments, and non-conforming fences. Next, we have the general requirements and maintenance in all zoning districts. So to this section, we added language regarding the fence and wall placement in relationship to easements, added language regarding retaining walls, language regarding fences and walls being constructed with consistent material types, and language indicating that fences and walls should be well designed and kept in reasonable conditions. So this is one of the most important sections of this code because although the permitted materials are important, the maintenance of a fence and a wall plays a major part in whether or not it is allowed. So I'll be providing a few examples of these just to kind of give you a little more insight on what that means. So this is a fence, 2 fences that are both constructed technically with allowed materials. They are both wood fences, but you can see the stark difference between the 2 of them. So the fence on the left is not well maintained. It's creating a safety hazard, and then the fence on the right is well constructed as well as well maintained. And just another example, including corrugated metal. Again, the fence on the left is falling apart, and the fence on the right is well-maintained. So these two examples really highlight why we wanted to add additional language to this section regarding overall maintenance and construction of fences and walls. Next, we have prohibited materials in all zoning districts. So we actually did not make too many changes to this section, but we have added two material types to the prohibited materials list. The first is fabrics and tarps, which includes mesh canvas, tarpaulin, or similar non-rigid materials. And then we have razor and concertina wire. And then we added a little bit of clarification to some existing language. So previously, the code said unapproved corrugated metal panels, and we have changed that to unframed, unpainted, untreated galvanized sheet or corrugated metal panels. And I'll kind of show you examples of what all of that looks like. So first we have the mesh canvas. So it's important to note that this type of material type as a fencing was always not prohibited. It just wasn't clearly outlined in the code, so we've added that language for further clarification. And then we have tarpaulin. Again, this type of material was not intended to be used as a fence. And we understand that there may be questions as to, well, how can an individual add privacy to a chain link fence on their property? So we wanted to at least show one example of an alternative that would be allowed per our code. These are privacy fence slats. You see them all around town, and they can be added to any type of existing chain link fence. And then here is an example of concertina and razor wire. And I wanted to point out that barbed wire is allowed currently, but only in residential zones for the keeping of large livestock. So there is that provision in there because it makes sense in that case. And again, offering an alternative. So on the left you have anti-climb fences, and on the right you have fence wall spikes, so you can see them right at the top of that fence. So they're really well integrated into the construction of the fence. And finally, we have corrugated metal fence paneling. So this is an example of what an untreated corrugated metal panel would look like. So in this example, it is framed, but you can see that reflective, shiny material that comes with corrugated metal. And here's the alternative. So on the left, you have a treated option, which is kind of a patina, and then on the right you have a painted version. So this is kind of, we are allowing the material type, it just has to be a little more, better constructed and a little more dressed up. Now we are moving on to permitted fencing materials in single-family residential zoning districts. So again, not many changes were actually made to the material list, but rather language was added to clarify the permitted materials and requirements. So we are allowing framed, painted, or treated galvanized sheet or corrugated metal fence panels, excluding cargo container walls. We are allowing mesh screening as a secondary material type for the screening of sports courts, and then allowing chicken wire, wire fabric, and similar welded or woven wire fabrics as a secondary material type for the keeping of animals. So again, here's that look of what a treated or painted corrugated metal fence would look like, and both of these are framed. Next, we have a mesh as a secondary material type for sports courts. And finally, we have chicken wire, wire fabric, and other similar materials being used as a secondary material type. So on the left, you can kind of see there is a wrought iron fence, and the wire has been added to that for added protection. So that is an example of what is allowed. And then on the right is what would not be allowed. So similar type of wire, but that wire is being used as the primary fence material. So that's kind of the difference between the two. Moving on to rural properties, so RSGR, RS54, and RS54M, so these are those acre and a quarter properties. We have added details regarding the use of corral and pen fences, and we are allowing acatillo and wooden stick fencing. So here's an example of a corral and a pen fence. So again, these fences were always allowed per our code, but we were just adding clarifying details of what it means to be a corral or pen fence. And then here's an example of an acatillo or wooden stick fence. And then finally, we have non-residential, multifamily, and new single-family developments. And when we say new single-family developments, we're saying like a platted subdivision, not a single individual lot. So it's a large-scale development. So to this section, we've added general design guidelines. We've added chain link fencing being allowed only during active construction or as security fencing on an undeveloped property. And then we have relocated our patio enclosure language. This is currently located in our landscape code, and we are just bringing it into this code where we believe it makes more sense. So again, just kind of bringing it back to the beginning, staff believes that the proposed changes do all three of these things, provide better clarification of the requirements, more flexibility with allowed materials, and improve the safety and aesthetics of walls and fences moving forward. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions. Just as a reminder, this is a work session discussion only item at this time. Public hearing dates will be provided at a later date.
Anyone have any questions? Guess you're off the hook.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so under new business, next item is presentation discussion of case P-23-127-AM, a proposed text amendment to Article 1-17 definitions to revise the definition of recreational vehicle. Erica?
Good evening, Commission members. This presentation is to discuss the text proposal for a text amendment to Article 1-17 definitions for a recreational vehicle. As you know, late last year, this commission and council approved the text amendment to Article 1-7 parking, loading, and circulation regulations that modified recreational vehicle regulations, and we added a few classifications for the types of recreational vehicles. So this proposal is not to modify what was already approved, just to modify the definitions for recreational vehicle.
Okay.
And that modification was to allow single-family residential lots with at least 1 gross acre to store one of the following. That is option 1, 2 unoccupied recreational vehicles, and recreational vehicles shall be considered the following: conventional travel trailers, fifth-wheel travel trailers with expandable ends, folding camping trailers, teardrop trailers, motorhomes Class A, Class B, Class C, camper vans, horse trailers with living quarters, and motorized and non-motorized toy haulers. Or option 2, 1 unoccupied recreational vehicle and 1 large truck vehicle. As a result, staff recommends modifying the definition for a recreational vehicle, including these proposed topics right here. So motorhomes, we got Class A, Class B, Class C, and a camper van. Park model is still going to be there, just like it was previously, no modifications to that. Travel trailer, conventional travel trailers, fifth-wheel travel trailers, hybrid trailers, pop-up or tent campers, teardrop camper, and non-motorized toy hauler. And we will be removing portable truck camper. And just a reminder, this is not to modify what was already approved, just to modify the definitions of recreational vehicle to make it consistent with what was approved for recreational vehicle regulations. And we hope to have a public hearing for P&Z here on February 27th, and then for City Council on March 5th. And with that, I'm happy to take any questions.
What are you calling portable truck campers?
So a portable truck camper is just like a camper that slides into the back or into the bed of a truck. So you can remove it. It's not, it doesn't have a chassis, it doesn't have wheels. A lot of people, they put the truck camper into the back of their truck, into the bed of their truck, and they just pretty much leave it there.
So I couldn't take my camper out of my truck and park it in my yard, pending with this,
The portable
language?
truck camper,
yeah,
you can remove it from your truck.
and I can leave it in my yard.
That is a great question. Cindy, would we consider that outdoor storage?
Commissioner Begeman, I'm sorry. Can you clarify the question? Where in the yard? Are you talking about in the side yard, rear yard?
In the rear yard.
Oh, yeah, I mean, if we can't see it, it doesn't exist, right?
That's right.
And so that's how we would treat it. But we want to, the intent of that regulation is removing the truck camper. The intent behind that was to be more resident friendly. So a lot of people use those truck campers and they leave them on their truck all year, right?
Right.
And so we wanted to have that to be kind of a reasonable request from the residents and say, yeah, that doesn't classify as an RV. And so if you want to park that in your
Okay,
driveway,
okay.
then that would not be subject to the two
Okay,
RV
I
limitation.
get what
Yeah,
you're going
and
at.
so it would be no problem.
Okay,
But previously, portable trunk campers were considered an RV.
right.
Yeah, so.
Okay, I get what you're saying now.
Anyone else, any questions? No. Think we're good?
All righty, thank you very
Makes
much.
a lot more sense now.
Yeah.
It's good.
Good job.
All right, next item under new business is election of chair and vice chair.
You gotta do that again?
I guess, it's that time of year.
Well, we didn't use last year.
I know. But we still have to do it. Can I have a motion to open the nomination for the chairperson?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, roll call?
Chairman Hanchey,
Yes.
Commissioner Gage,
Yes.
Commissioner Begeman,
Yes.
Commissioner Callan,
Yes.
Commissioner Barker,
Yes.
Commissioner Bigelow.
Yes.
The nominations for chair are open, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. I now call for nomination for chairperson.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to nominate Dave Hanchey for chairman of the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Okay. I call for nominations for chairperson. I call for nominations for chairperson. I call for nominations for chairperson. Can I have a motion to close nominations for chair?
So
So
moved.
moved. Second.
Rudy, can I get a roll call?
Commissioner Bigelow,
Yes.
Chairman Hanchey,
Yes.
Commissioner Gage,
Yes.
Commissioner Begeman,
Yes.
Commissioner Callan,
Yes.
Commissioner Barker.
Yes.
So move, Mr. Chairman. The nominations are closed.
Okay, I now call for a motion to approve Dave Hanchey for chairperson.
So moved.
Can I have a second?
I second.
All right, roll call.
Commissioner Begeman nominated. I'm sorry, who was the second?
Bigelow.
Bigelow.
Bigelow, okay. Chairman Hanchey,
Yes.
Commissioner Gage,
Yes.
Commissioner Callan,
Yes.
Commissioner Bigelow.
Yes.
Commissioner Begeman,
Yes.
Commissioner Barker.
Yes.
Congratulations, Chairman Hanchey, you are still the chairman.
Thank you guys very much.
Don't fix something that's not.
Yep, I still have the gavel, so.
Can I get my old seat back?
Sure, I never moved you. Can I have a motion to open the nominations for vice chairperson?
So moved.
Second.
I have a second. Can I have a roll call, Rudy?
Chairman Hanchey,
Yes.
Commissioner Gage,
Yes.
Commissioner Begeman,
Yes.
Commissioner Callan,
Yes.
Commissioner Barker,
Yes.
Commissioner Bigelow.
Yes.
So moved, Mr. Chairman. The nominations are open for vice chair.
Thank you, Rudy. I now call for nominations for vice chairperson.
Mr. Chair, I nominate Commissioner Gage for vice chair.
I call for nominations for vice chairperson.
Mr. Chairman, I nominate Robin Barker for vice chair.
I call for nominations for vice chairperson. I call for nomination for vice chairperson. Can I have a motion to close nominations for vice chairperson?
So moved.
Second.
Can I get a roll call, Rudy?
Commissioner Bigelow,
Yes.
Chairman Hanchey,
Yes.
Commissioner Gage,
Yes.
Commissioner Begeman,
Yes.
Commissioner Callan,
Yes.
Commissioner Barker.
Yes.
The nominations are closed, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. I now call for a motion to approve Commissioner Gage for vice chairperson.
So moved.
Second.
Can I get a roll call, Rudy?
Yes, sir. Moved by Commissioner Bell. Okay, for Jesse Gage, Chairman Hanchey,
Yes.
Commissioner Gage,
No.
Commissioner Callan,
No.
Commissioner Bigelow,
Yes.
Commissioner Begeman,
No.
Commissioner Barker.
Well, golly gee. You want to do paper, rock, scissors? I rather like Mr. Gage as vice chair, so I'm going to say yes.
It's a 3-3 tie.
How about that?
Now what?
So, Mr. City Attorney, we go on to the next nominee?
Yes.
Okay.
I now call for a motion to approve Commissioner Barker for vice chairperson.
So moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, Rudy?
Chairman Hanchey,
Yes.
Commissioner Gage,
Yes.
Commissioner Callan,
Yes.
Commissioner Bigelow.
Wait, are we voting? Is this like a yes
No,
or
this
no?
is,
This is
Oh,
oh, yes, this is the vote, yes.
no.
Commissioner Begeman,
Yes.
Commissioner Barker.
Yes.
Congratulations,
tried.
Commissioner Barker, you are our new vice chair.
I thought you didn't want it, Robin, that's why I said no.
That's okay. No problem.
All right, information report. Yeah. Information and reports. Does the commission have any news to report? I have none.
I can't remember back that far, so I
can't
don't
either.
think.
I've got something,
Ooh, cool.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Gage?
Yeah, so today we had the sewer district meeting, and we were asked to vote on the First Amendment of the intergovernmental agreement between Apache Junction, the Superstition Vistas community, so that's the development to the south, Brookfield Homes, and a bunch of other entities that were involved. Basically, they're changing the legal description of that property and pulling out, I think it was 97 acres that's currently zoned as residential, and they're setting that aside so that it can be a residential or commercial development. It's on the corner of Ironwood and Elliott? I'm not exactly sure where it is. But anyway, it's an opportunity
That was a good
apparently to
one.
add some
I like
commercial
that.
properties down there, which I think is a good thing, because right now, we're gonna have a bunch of houses down there with no commercial
And no
entities paying
Circle
any
K.
taxes, you know.
Yeah, and they'll all go to Queen Creek if we don't get something in that development.
Yeah.
That was kind of a long-range plan anyway, was to put some commercial down there, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I'm not sure if the city's approved that yet, because I didn't look at the videos like we were talking about, but
And we've all been bad people, we haven't watched the videos.
It was our holiday break.
so, anyway, that's the news that I have. I think it's good news.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
excellent, excellent, yeah.
Anyone else? All right, director's report. Rudy, you have any news?
Mr. Chairman, I don't have a report, but I do have some info for you this evening. Commissioner, and just to kind of refresh everyone's memories.
Thank you.
Not for discussion tonight. If you want to have a discussion on any of this, just let us know. We can schedule it for another meeting. But basically what I've given you is the sections out of Volume 1 of the City Code and Volume 2 of the City Code, which is the Zoning Ordinance, and which talks about the formation and the duties and roles of the Planning and Zoning Commission, the section on rezonings, the section on text amendments, and the section on general plan amendments. Once again, it's been a while since we had a meeting, just for the benefit of our new commissioner, to refresh everyone's memories. And once again, if you want to discuss any of these things, just let us know. We'll put it on the next agenda. So it's not everything. You know, we also, of course, deal with the subdivision code when we approve subdivisions. We also deal with, to a lesser extent, with the landscape code. So all of our codes are online. If you want to do a deep dive into the zoning ordinance and the general plan and all that other good stuff that's in Volume 1 and Volume 2. But just a handout tonight, and that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
All right.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
could I ask for something for a future meeting?
You sure can.
At this point? Rudy, could we have an update on new stuff that's come down since we've
Yes.
been gone for so long?
Sure.
Okay,
Absolutely.
that'd be great, thank you.
Okay.
It's a great idea. I do watch the website though too, so. All right, anyone else? We're all good. Do we have a motion to select the next meeting date?
Mr. Chair,
Or Vice Chair?
I move that the Planning and Zoning Commission hold a regular meeting on February 13, 2024 at 7 p.m. in the Administration Building Boardroom of the Superstition Fire and Medical District located at 565 North Idaho Road. Is that correct?
Actually, Vice Chair, that meeting was scheduled because we have an upcoming general plan amendment and plan development amendment case, but as of today, that applicant has asked for a postponement.
Gotcha.
I don't think there's anything wrong with mentioning that date, but I'll just let you know right now that that meeting will be postponed.
So how would you like me to frame that?
Is the other date in there, Kelsey? For the next P&Z meeting?
The 20,
27th? That's the 27th, right?
Meeting on the 27th?
27th.
Okay.
okay, how about I go back?
Regular meeting on the 27th.
Okay, how about I go back and move that the Planning and Zoning Commission hold a regular meeting on February 27th, correct? 2024 at 7 p.m. here in this building. And in the event there are no items to be brought forth to the commission, those meetings may be canceled. Notification of cancellation properly posted and commission notified by staff. That's the date of the public
Second.
hearing.
And we have a second. Roll call?
Commissioner Begeman,
Yes.
Commissioner Barker,
Yes.
Commissioner Callan,
Yes.
Chairman Hanchey,
Yes.
Commissioner Gage,
Yes.
Commissioner Bigelow.
Yes.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
All right. I now adjourn the meeting at 7:29 p.m.